live. Welcome to the Olga S. Pérez Show. I'm your host, Olga. And make sure whenever you come in during this live, leave a chat. I will look at them. I will respond. While I get set up, get yourself comfortable, get a cup of coffee, a tea, a drink, whatever it is. Let's get ready. Leave a comment in the comments. I will read them and I will respond. Your comments are my fuel. Keep them coming. If you don't know this already, I'm a life strategist and my specialty is communications. And I'm here. This channel is specifically to break down anything we see in the news, in the media, in our social settings, circles, culture. And let's look at these people for, the way I would, which is very different than most people, because communication means more than one thing. There's so much to communications, body language, what's in between the lines, what do they really mean when they're saying, the acting, and most important, let's have fun. Let's enjoy this. So let me just see. I just want to bring out my glasses because I want to convey that this isn't just a typical commentator. No. Everybody else is doing it. Why do I need to do what everybody else is doing? I feel like everybody's saying the same thing. Maybe they have different perspectives, different styles, right? You might like one more than the other. But I'm like, you know what? They're all at the end of the day doing the same thing, just pointing the finger, and look at this, and look at that. And here's my comment about it. I like to dig deeper. I like to know why. Why are they doing this? What's really behind it? And what I see. So with that being said, I think I finally figured everything out. Everything's ready to go. And I'm like, oh, look at this. But imagine everyone's ready. Where am I going to start with today? Well, guess what? I'm going to start with something fun. If you saw the thumbnail to today's live, I'm going to start right there. How many of you already know and have already seen that thumbnail today? Let me know in the comments. I'd like to know. For those of you who haven't seen it. And for those of you who have followed me already and know that I've been looking into this singer, Bryson Gray. If you haven't met him yet, haven't seen him, check him out. I'm going to screen share. Let's get to, I'm going to show you what I was looking at today. I'm going to screen share. Don't even get me started. We're going to start with this guy. All right. So you've seen the meme here, right? Hunter Biden, every time he buys crack and hookers. Here's my thing. I think it's good and it's healthy to make fun of everything in life. I mean, that's how we cope. That's how we actually thrive and survive. Humor is so important. It's like water. It's like air. It's like music. We need it. And it's great. And people should not get their feelings hurt because it's not about you. Okay. It's not about you. Nothing in this world is personal. And we can talk about that anytime you want. I'll even do a whole podcast or 2 or 3 on that subject because I understand how difficult it is to accept that. But there's a way. Let me know if you want to be a guest on the show. My info is in the description below. Reach me out or go to social media, DM me. But the better way is to give me a comment right now live or later when you watch a replay in the comments. So here's this meme and it's funny. I mean, come on. I mean, what an exaggeration. That's the thing. But it's making the point, right? It's like, oh my God, this guy is like, what's this obsession with recording himself? That's a whole nother thing. I mean, talking about a cry for help, yet it doesn't seem like this individual wants help. He's certainly not acting like it, but it really, truly is. Maybe for some, it wouldn't be help like, oh, SOS, help, I'm drowning, right? So let me break down what I mean by help for this individual, this Hunter Biden. It's the fact that he's not getting fulfillment. No matter how many prostitutes, no matter how much drinks, drugs, no matter how much money, no matter how much abuse, it's like the drama never ends with him. It's never enough. You get that high of the high of the high or the drama and then more drama on top of that drama. Oh my God, the super drama is like, you're not having a great time unless there's like 20 hookers, man. And they have to be like all kinds of crazy looking ages. Okay. And I'm not going to get into it. You guys know. And if you don't know, Go ahead, look into it. But it's just never enough. Every color, every size, okay? All the drugs. So the cameras, the recording it all. I mean, yeah, it's easy to be like, oh, this guy's a total narcissist. Yeah, but here's what I'm talking about, the help. It's an emptiness, it's a darkness, and you can never satiate it. And the same could be said for happiness, because that's what I'm passionate about, is teaching others about happiness. And once you have the taste for it, once you know exactly how to have the happiness, you keep doing the things that make you happy, and you keep getting rid of the things that don't make you happy. Because once you feel that happiness, you want more and more and more. Being in love, you want more and more and more. You don't want it to end. So keep that in mind with the help. But yeah, so I'm starting it out with the meme, but even better yet, our boy here, Elon Musk, A+ for cinematography. Again, this guy's so witty. I mean, I hope he's really writing his stuff, because that's really witty. Whether you like the guy or not, whether you care about Hunter Biden or not, memes or not, this is some wit. See, that's how I look at this. First thing I think about is, that's pretty witty. Come on. They made their point. Brilliant. See, that's what I like about human beings. We have good and we have bad. It's nice to see this. Gotta appreciate. Without creativity, we also die, guys. We are co-creating here with planet Earth, with the animals, the plants, anything we engage with. Just on a basic level. Not even going into the mind and how far we could stretch it and open it and expand it, right? Whether it's mind or spirit, both. Either way, it's all about creating. But see, everyone's just so busy judging and pointing the finger or reacting and feeling like, oh, this is offensive, or I don't think this is funny, or, oh my God, that's so hilarious. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I didn't laugh out loud the first moment I saw this meme, but I did smile, and I was like, oh shoot, right? That kind of a thing. But then I was like, oh, who did Elon? Somebody was making us think about it. Why? Because of this MSNBC anchor, who you can read her, Stephanie Rule. I don't watch mainstream media, or AKA corporate media, legacy media that's clearly done with. Thank God, because they had a monopoly and they manipulate, hold everything, and there's very little opportunity. I worked for NBC briefly, but regardless, it's, you remember, I'm sure you heard of it. Oh, it's so hard to get in. And so many people that did study communications or broadcasting in college, mostly they never made it. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's such a stretchy pool. Like, at least when you study to be a doctor or lawyer, you can make it. But in this, it's like acting, right? Back in the old days where it has to be all through Hollywood, LA, New York, right? So this is great, because I'm all about opportunities for everyone, and everyone being able to feel that there is no limits, because people are out there ready to crush your dreams, no matter how hard you try. These are facts. And of course, it's always a question of, when should you give up? All right, because the question is not when you should give up. Are you really doing what you were meant to do? Because it always shows that when you're doing something you're meant to do, it comes out so easy. I mean, of course, without complete struggle. No, it's different for everyone. But clearly, if you can't sing, your dream's always been a singer, and you can go get coaching lessons and become a better singer. All those things can happen, right? But they tend to flow more when it's in alignment. When you're in alignment, when you're being true to yourself, everything falls into place. And you're like, well, how do you do that? Well, here's one way to look at that. Here's Stephanie Rule, her reply to Elon Musk. She says, imagine the positive impact you could have on the world if you use the extraordinary amount of influence and power you have to spread decency, kindness, and positivity. Now think about this. That was beautiful. And yet, what is she talking about? She can't have a good time, and she has to use that moment to attack, when in fact, how could she be so delusional so one-sided. So is she not in her body? Because why isn't she doing that? See, instead of talking, pointing the finger, arguing, judging back and forth, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? You and everyone you're with, everyone you hang out with over there at MSNBC, right? How about you look at everything you do every day and every time you open your mouth, all of you anchors out there, Stephanie, and say, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to make it my thing that whatever comes out of my mouth will be decent and kind and positive. Come on, baby. But Elon got me to it. His response was, imagine if NBC did that. See, I'm not that good with those great comebacks, but that's how I would have read her before him. But yes, boom to that. Amen to that. Love that. You know what I'm saying? Mic drop. Amazing. These are the moments that I'm like, yeah. If somebody has a touchdown in a football game or something, to me, it's a game. But this, the way we speak, is how we create our world. It's not just entertainment, guys. That's what I'm getting at. Don't fall for the bullshit. And don't let it affect you, upset you. All right. So with that said, here's another little twist on, again, maybe something kind of negative. And let's take it to a little positive. On the same subject, I'm going to talk about a few things. Talk about Bill Gates. Just mentioned Elon. I'm going to make this song over here where I'm going to screen share in a second. I'm going to touch base about something that happened with Senator Hawley. A little thing about Jill Biden. And first, a little pause to this guy. Again, it's not even that I care for rap. Of course, I'm already telling you what I'm about to play. But it's if there's substance behind it. You got me, baby. You got me a hello. Got it? All right. Screen share. One more time. Let's go. Ready?
They gon' aim me for this one. Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It's a pedo Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while he wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mansion up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa. Here we go again. If it was Trump Jr., it would be on CNN. This what happens when you rich, but you a slave to sin. This what happens when the devil knock you, let him in. I don't care about who this offends. Buying crime family, they all belong in a pen. Buying loves minors, that's the real BLM. Call me what you want, but at least I ain't a damn. Wait, hold up, don't get mad at me. Am I tripping or is he in bed with Natalie? Why he recording all that? What's the strategy? If you do incest, you probably do bestiality. Hey, the president's son is a crackhead, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what your dad said. Is he the real president or a jack led? Why is everyone that voted for your dad dead? Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It's a pedo Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while he wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what you pay for that. Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa, all the women in your phone, can we check the age? Wasn't you on $10, can we check the page? Hunter needs to be in prison, put him in the cage. I thought he was clean, seemed like he ain't changed his ways. And that ain't working for Burisma, how he get a raise? 10% for the big guy, who all getting paid? I still don't know why he recorded, is it blackmail? But do you really think any of them will go to jail? They satanic and all of them will go to hell. You a lame Hunter and your daddy lame as well. It's obvious, but if you blind and read it in braille, will the corruption never end? Only time will tell. President's son is a crackhead, but you the smartest guy, he know that's what your dad said. Is he the real president or a jack led? Why is everyone that voted for your dad dead? Hey, you know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your
That's the highlight for me. Hey, you know what's really wild? That your own son's calling you a pedophile. Oh, you gotta laugh again. Now, I'm not laughing at Hunter Biden or Biden or anybody. This is not about politics. It's you get some information, you bring light you got to make fun. Music is an awesome way. I think this guy's brilliant. This is not the first song that I'm just like, well, he makes me laugh about the serious topics, but not amplifying it with negativity. That's brilliant. That's my style. I think we're going to go a lot further this way. It's attacking, insulting. And I don't care whether it comes more from this side than the other side. Okay. At the end of the day, you're just, if you're screaming, you're raising your voice, you like it. It's not the topic. Whether it's your opinion on abortion, politics, whatever happens. You like to be angry. That's a fact, because no one does something they don't want to do. You don't eat something you don't want to eat unless you have to, right? Like it's the last resort. And so maybe you're thinking, Olga, that's exactly why I'm yelling, because I have to, because no one's listening. Oh, they're listening. But let me give you a little insight here. They don't really hear you when you're screaming or threatening. But if you want to, scream, raise your voice, however you want to get it off and express yourself, totally understand that. That's human. Do it. But don't expect positive results. What I mean by positive is getting your way. Because the only way is to talk, baby. It's the talk. Humor, I think, is a great icebreaker for all that, for all the differences, for all the change that we need. It's a great time that we're living in right now. It's massive transformation. And I recommend that you read history, read about the Roman Empire and how they fell down. But there's so many more historic stories that you can look back and be like, well, what happened and how did they do it? But what's happening today is that everyone thinks that we don't have to look back. Although we all know that history repeats itself. And if you don't know, then that's a fact, because that's a human trait. That's just one way to look at it. But then the other one is that what can we learn from the past? That's how we've evolved. So now what I'm seeing is people think that we're too smart. We have too much technology. We don't have to look back. This is a classic answer I get all the time when, say, we're talking about the economy. Oh, what should we go back to bartering? But hold on. Why is that an archaic thought? Should we not have an exchange? Why did we get so conditioned, and why is it so acceptable to buy things that are 50 times its price? If a watch only costs $200 to make, why are we buying it for 10? Do you understand that? Like, that's another rabbit hole that we need to get into. The value of things and how we're buying into all of this. And then we act like we have no power. We have all the power. Every decision that we make, it's in our hands. And not one person in power has it without us giving it, buying into it, whether it's mentally, physically, or monetarily. Mark that down and go over it a few times. These are facts. But yeah, oh my God. I love this. I love this. Okay, just 2 more seconds of this guy. Come on now. See how you laugh?
They gonna hate me for this one. Hey. You know what's really wild? Got your own son calling you a pedophile. Why you getting called that by your own child? It's a Pedro Peter every time the phone down. Wow, Hunter arguing with hookers while he wearing crack. Whoa, they call it a conspiracy, but I'm saying facts. Whoa, in the mansion up in Cali, but who pay for that? Whoa, the media gon' cover it up like he ain't get hacked. Whoa. Here we go again. If it was Trump Jr., it would be on CNN. This what happens when you rich, but you a slave to sin. This what happens when the devil knocks you dead, man.
Hunter Biden.
I don't care about who this offends.
All right, guys. All right, so while I'm here, let's go move on to Jill Biden. Again, I'm going to be light about this. And this one caught my eye even more because everyone's coming out like she said something that was so offensive. Well, here's my take on it. especially as someone who's a mix, where I am from Spain, but born in Italy, and my father was in the Navy, an American/German, and a bunch of other things. I'm a mutt, but I definitely, Olga S. Perez, right? It's in my name. But I actually grew up in Spain, and I have friends that are from all over the world, and a lot of them from, South America, Central America, right? Spanish-speaking countries. I already have an issue with the fact that for years they've been calling Hispanics as if they're Spanish. And again, I understand the schools aren't teaching people that is not the way to call so-called Latinos Hispanics, because Latin, the word Latin, just about anybody from Europe, big chunk of it is Latin. Okay. So, all right. So without even getting down that rabbit hole, but I suggested you go look at it, because if we've been saying it wrong for years and nobody really cared, like whatever, most people didn't know, some people did know, and they're no big deal. But you're not going to come now and say and call it Latinx or Latinx. And, I just ignore this stuff usually. But see, the more the media keeps putting it out there, the more everyone gets brainwashed to believe that this is a thing. Even when tell me that no real, in quote, Hispanic, in quote, Latino, Latina would ever tell you that they're Latinx. The fact that it's not even an issue, but they would never say it. They would never say it. They would never agree with it. So every time, I don't care, like I said, whose side you on. I'm for side real here, okay? And because they're in power, they're not getting tomatoes thrown at them for what they're saying. And that's it. And they just get away with it because they're on their little cloud. They're the elites. They're on their little cloud, and they got all their security around them. And they're not living in planet Earth. They're really not at all living in reality in your world or in my world. They're not. They're not. And we allow it. And they walk around, they act like they're gods. And so they say these things. And even when they're like, oh, I want to apologize, I said something wrong. They don't mean it. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care about anybody. Look at them. They're clearly doing that. Did they ask me or any Latina? Where's the Latina next to them saying, yeah, call me Latina X? Go ahead, show me. Do it. Put them on stage with you. And it's all scripted, so you didn't make a mistake. Even when you, as Whoopi Goldberg said, we all poo-poo. Isn't that nice, Whoopi? You're talking about this adult senior as she's a 3-year-old that stuck her foot in her mouth. Whether she did or whether she read the teleprompter wrong or they actually did script it and she read exactly what they scripted and maybe they did it on purpose to get a rise out of us. Who cares? This is irrelevant. I don't care. You shouldn't care. But just to set the record straight, the fact that they keep harping on the Latinx and all this stuff, I'm just using that one corner, that one little area of the Hispanics and how they have the Latin votes and blah, 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 blah. The fact that they just keep doing it because they have to keep supporting the racist agenda, which they're racist. So the person who wrote this and the person who said this, who's calling everybody racist all day long, trust me, you can't be a racist if you're not a racist. I mean, let me rephrase that. That didn't come out right. When you're claiming that someone's a racist or racism is a problem, you're the one thinking that way. You have to be able to recognize it. Let's go back to when we were kids. You ever hear this? Maybe they don't say this now in the, millennial era or the Gen Z era, but it takes one to know one. That's simple psychology, my friends. But let's have a little laugh with our little girlfriend here, our little fellow human. I do not believe in the apology. And I do understand how ignorant. I don't care that she makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's the best part about us, that we're perfectly imperfect. But it's the lie and the crap and the misinformation. Okay. The ones that are telling you what you can and cannot say are so wrong. I'm just going to point that out. And this is nefarious. And this is a game, and this is brainwashing, and don't fall for the bullshit. That's it. That should be your credo for at least a week. Don't fall for the bullshit. Okay, here we go.
But we can't get those things. of tacos. Not a joke.
By the way,
let's take a listen.
Love these guys. If you don't know their background, they used to work for The Hill. And because they were also starting to get controlled by the sponsors and alliance, oppressing, changing things, omitting, boom. And I'm so proud of them. Breaking points if you guys don't already know them. But here we go.
But we can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength.
Okay. Let me just say, do you know how many times I had to listen to that clip because I didn't understand what she meant when she said the New York, what did she say? Bodegas? I was like, did I miss something? Like, I've been going to New York for over 30 years. It's like, what is that? Like, what did I miss? Did I miss something here? Is it like another language that I know about? I can't believe that it took me at least 3 to 4 times before I finally figured out, not because I figured it out on my own, it's because I don't know if it was this exact channel on Breaking Points. I don't know if it was Sagar or not, but then somebody finally said something bodegas. And I was like, of course. I'm like, again, this way of trying to kiss their ass and act like, oh, isn't our country so much better because of our diversity? That's what something I would definitely say. And the fact that she said it wrong and it took me forever to figure out, that's a whole nother subject. But again, this is politics. This is classic politics. And look how they're having her speak more and more, which of course, because our current, president is not there. He's not well. He's not there. Somebody's got to speak. He's not there. We got that. And I don't even understand how the whole world, country, you name it, is allowing this, because that's abuse, guys. I'm just going to tell you straight up. It's not politics. It's flat out abuse. And where's the compassion for someone like that? Whether you like them or not. Now, going back to our little Jill girl here. Now, so the bodega. But then Miami gets the blossoms? How does Miami get the blossoms? That's it? They just get the blossoms. Obviously, she's targeting places where there's a high rate of Hispanics, right? And the demographic. And then she goes to, hello, she's in San Antonio. What's predominantly in San Antonio? Let me drink some water, guys. Mexicans. But are they the only Spanish-speaking people that live? No, of course not. It's impossible. There's got to be somebody else from Puerto Rico, Mexico. I mean, anywhere, right? Besides Mexico. So I get it. I'm not offended by that taco comment. It's how much money are these people getting paid to not even be able to fake it better than this? Or, and I would say both, they did this on purpose. And then that's what, I mean, I believe that this is on purpose, and that, the whole, I want to apologize, again, it's this, here's the thing. It's not who's the real fact checkers. What are the real facts? Are you alleging? No. What I'm getting at is that all they care about, all this is about, is, in a very plain way, they're covering their ass. They're just, it's called, it's another word for it. It's called virtue signaling. And that's their whole MO. And if you don't know what MO is, that comes from Latin. It's modus operandus. All right. Look that up. It's not about saying things wrong. It's what's behind this. What are they doing? And it's insulting is what it is. Don't buy into the bullshit. This is how they all work. And it's always been this way. But now with all these television, all these forms of media, it's more than human history's ever experienced. Know that. And you can have an opinion, which is why I want to see your comments. Hey, Tiana. Oh my God. I hope you're still here. I just saw you. I just took a break because since I download this and upload it on the podcast, I've noticed that if I interrupt too many times, I don't want the person that's probably like listening to the podcast, maybe driving their car, to be like back and forth. So I've decided I'm going to check less times in the chat, or at least say hi and then come back and do all the chat conversation at the end of the podcast. But great to see you, sweetheart. Great to see you again. And if you haven't already liked, hit that like button. Oh, I can't believe you guys could see me do this. Cool. You see, hey, talk about being real and transparent. But let's go back to where was I? Okay, we got that out. Let's see. We did the Elon thing. What my God, I don't know. What are you guys seeing right now? Oh, okay, you're seeing all right, we saw Bryson. Okay, baby. To be continued. All right, we got Jill down. We know the bullshit. Don't fall for all this distraction of who cares about the freaking and the breakfast taco. I'll be honest with you. I've had breakfast burritos, not a breakfast taco. Maybe it is a thing of San Antonio. I could have looked it up, but who cares? This is irrelevant and is stupid. And it's insulting. And I believe that you guys and all of us have much more intelligence than this. Smash that like button if you agree. Leave a comment for sure. No matter what, keep them coming. Now to go to a little more serious, but again, I'm just going to give the light as a life strategist on what's really going on with these people. Taking away all the politics and the BS. Okay. All right. Let's go to it. If you guys haven't already seen it, we'll play this for a little bit. Let's see.
To all of the witnesses for being here. Before I want to visit with you, Ms. Mansky, but before I do, I just want to clear one thing up. Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this
Wait. Again, you guys can watch it. You probably already watched it. I'll leave you the link, but let's go back real quick. Let's go back.
That this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive.
That statement right there, mutually exclusive. That statement. Okay, but before I put words in her mouth, let me see one more time, guys.
Women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually
exclusive. That's just a term people start using. Like, it's not just one, like, doesn't have to be one way. Well, you're right. There's a lot of things that doesn't have to be one way, and they might be some gray areas and not everything's black and white. Totally. I get it. But there are things that are. And you can't just use language to kind of like, because this is my take. This individual's using that term mutually, that those things are not mutually exclusive. That's a play on words. So this person did not make a statement so therefore they did not answer a question, in my opinion. As a communications, this is my thing. My expertise is relationships and communications between relationships. So in this conversation, this is not a fair conversation.
Exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Not just not fair. This is not communicative. And you can't have communication without communication, meaning the person, you have to speak very clearly. So know how to speak very clearly and listen clearly and respond clearly and use the right words to convey what you really mean. That does not convey what you mean. That's exactly telling me that you're just going to be like, basically like pleading the fifth. You know, whatever I say, it's because I said it and that's it. No, because that's also could, that's it. That's also could work for somebody to say, if I say I didn't rape you, you know, I didn't rape you, even if I did, because I said it. Are you with me? I know the word rape sounds inflammatory. So let me go something more PG, right? Let's go, you know, hey, I didn't touch your cereal. Say two roommates, you know, living together. I didn't touch your cereal. Just because you said it and you act like you're convinced and you think I'm going to be convinced, that doesn't, you can't just shove it down my throat. Prove it to me. That's not an answer. They're not proving the question, whether it's a correct statement, incorrect statement. They're just standing their ground on deny would be one way to look at it. Wink, wink. Okay, guys, you get me? Nudge, nudge. All right.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic,
and that's okay. Love it. Again, you can watch this whole thing straight out. I'm going to pause it because, again, it's really easy to just listen and be like, oh, you know, when I'm thinking this or this, that, or again, you could have your glasses on maybe you already automatically take sides. You've already bought into one idea or the other, or one side or the other, supposedly, right? The whole world is divided because there's two types of people. Those who know who they are and know what they believe in and nothing can dissuade them. And those who will believe in anything because they don't really have any core beliefs. It's really in the most simple way I can tell you. You could say maybe those who have more of their, you know, moral high ground, you know, are like the people that are more religious. I get it. You could say that, but I'm not going to say that because there's always people that don't fit that one side. All of a sudden, before they used to be, you know, left, right, center, in the middle, liberal, right? Before there was more diversity and inclusivity than now when they're shoving it down your throat. Because it doesn't work to shove anything down anybody's throat. You get me? Here we go back with the communication. So I'm sick of this, and you should be too. And you should be standing up and let's call everybody out. Everybody. Next door neighbor, everybody. Like, let's stop letting people shove shit down our throat. And for the sake of not arguing, let's get better at communicating. If we're such great communicators and we're so right, we don't have to fight. We don't have to raise our voice. These are facts. So transphobic, which means to be afraid of something. That's phobia. Transphobic. You're afraid, you have a phobia over transitioners because that's the word trans. It's from transition. So just because you want to make up and give it the meaning you want, and now you want me to, no, you can't brainwash me like that. That's how people should be thinking. You're just saying this. What the hell? So I wish I was that guy. I wish I was that senator right there. Being like, okay, you know what? Let's break down what you just said. And I will annihilate you. Because all you're doing is throwing made up words, labeled words, misused words. And on top of it, it's like you're convinced and it's an attack. Again, you can convince me the sky is purple all day long. And you know what? Yeah, you say a lie enough, people do believe you. And that's what's happening here. And I don't care about the topic. It's use your words right. And don't try to attack somebody to win your argument. Right then and there, not good.
Opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So
Exactly. Do you see that? That was a really good comeback from him. Because exactly. She's already assuming he or she, I don't care who it is. That statement is already assuming, and you're attacking me and you're judging me exactly what you're acting like you are not, because you're all about inclusivity. Do you see what I mean? You're automatically telling me that you've got problems. You're attacking. You're judging. You're angry. What's wrong? What's really bothering this person? Unless they're just a recorder because of a group that they that they joined in, just like somebody who joins a church and a philosophy and a mentality. It's the same, guys. It's the same.
I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning. So we can't talk about it.
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people.
Oh my God. I get what she's saying. And yes, they do take their lives away on an alarming rate. It's a lot. Nobody should have to take their life away for any reason. And I get it. But because think how strong the statement is. Almost sounds godlike. Again, look, listen.
Trans people exist and pretending not.
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they
I'm
exist.
denying that trans
is denying that they exist. We know they exist. That's why they're called transgender. So that, again, that's a lie. That's incorrect. Say what you really mean, my sweetheart, because that's false. See, I know. I'm not trying to nitpick, but just like there's body language experts, this is what I'm talking about.
Trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
And look, again, are you that tactic? That's attack. And by the way, that's a low budget, low grade way of attacking people. Why? Because you can't defend your argument. Because you really don't know what you're saying. What this individual is showing me is that they're repeating things. Because if you really know what you're saying, you don't have to respond that way. So again, you're pushing this shit down my throat. And I know this for years of people, throwing down my throat about religion and getting married and, having sex out of wedlock. See, all these things, this is the classic tactic. Aren't you going to get married? Aren't you going to have kids? Down my throat. Like, why is it okay for everybody to ask me 1,000 times if I'm going to get married or if I had kids? Why is that okay? It's not okay. Just like if I come to you and throw down your throat, why do you have to get married? Why do you have to have kids? Oh my God. Did you think you're more than that? I could do that too. But see, when the majority's against you, I get it. But this is not the way through that point in argument. And it's not going to make things better. And I don't want these people killing themselves. I do want everybody to thrive because everybody is equal. But that is a false and incorrect statement.
That men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to
again, trans. If this individual wants to say that trans can get pregnant, then you have to say a woman can get pregnant after she's transitioned while she hasn't changed her organs. You get that? And that's the thing. That this is about, I want to win the argument. And if you don't agree with me, you're the bad guy. Guys, bad. There's nothing good about that.
violence. Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question?
I'm not into this guy again. I'm not into anybody, but I got to tell you that answer. That's something that crossed my mind. Is this how you talk to your students? Again, I wouldn't want these people teaching my children. If they don't know how to speak and they're supposed to be teachers, how are you going to be teaching? What are you teaching if you can't even talk and use your words right? What do we say when kids are getting off a clamped and they're crying and we're like, use your words, right? Use your words. And sometimes you have to say that to an adult as well. Use your words. And don't get me wrong, she's pretty composed, but this individual already has set their mind. So there's no dialogue here.
Question you, or are they also treated like this, where
No,
they're told that they're opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow.
See? So this person's also showing me that they're very young. whether I was watching this video and I just heard the audio of this, that's what I would tell you. This person is young, inexperienced. Why are they really here? Like, was this person the best person to have this argument, or does this person request it? I don't know all these things, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to help people make their point. So if she came to me and I was coaching her, I would have prepped her for all these points. I would have been like, what are you going to talk about? And I would have given her the tools to really, defend her point correctly, because that's how you're going to get heard. And obviously everything else, right? It's like when you have the right recipe, right? When you got the right amount and the ingredients, you bake the perfect cake the same way.
Oh, I would learn a lot.
Now I can break down this whole thing. And I actually was, if you guys could still see my screen, I wanted to mention this whole Dr. Malone thing, but you know what? I think I'm going to leave that for next time when I'm going to live, and the Bill Gates, because I'm going to have to spend a lot of time on this Dr. Malone one and the Bill Gates one. So let me just, but if you can see my screen, there's a whole like hour of the Dr. Malone on Rumble that I was also going to share some parts with you guys. So, you know what, we're going to get into that tomorrow, because again, I want to show you guys how people are reacting. And I want to know if you guys see it too. And if you didn't, maybe with the way I said it, like, let me know. But you guys have this. You got me. You know what? I'm going to leave it at this.
I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
Ms. Matsky.
Yeah, he's being a smartass, you see? But I get it. It's like, I'm defeated, and it's natural to also act like, okay, I'm just going to give it back the way I'm getting it. And that's, again, I'm just saying, doesn't really help the situation. You see, it's not working, is my point.
Let me ask you something. So you provide health care to women free of charge, right? Is that right?
Absolutely.
You've done this for many years.
Yep.
You have licensed medical professionals at your pregnancy care centers. Is that right?
That is correct.
And what are some of the resources that you provide for women who come to you in a time of need?
So,
just give us you talked about it in your written testimony, but just give us a sense of it.
So we have 3 OBGYN doctors, 5 registered nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, phlebotomists, medical assistants, and we provide prenatal care, OBGYN care. We provide pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, well woman visits, breast exams. We provide a wide range of medical services. Yes.
So what do you think about the DC politicians now saying that your clinic and the other 3,000 pregnancy care centers around this country are fake medical clinics? For instance, Senator Warren has said, it's now more important than ever to crack down on so-called crisis pregnancy centers that mislead and deceive patients. Senator Menendez, crisis pregnancy centers jeopardize women's health and well-being, all while elevating unproven theories about birth control. Senator Warner wrote to Google asking them to censor search results for care centers like yours, saying directing women to fake clinics that traffic in misinformation is dangerous to women's health and undermines the integrity of Google's.
I'm not going to go into so many ways I can go into this right now, but I'm going to wrap this up with this. Stop using women's health care. Like women's health, like with the conversation of abortion, right? That it's for women's health. The word health means vitality in a sense. So taking away life, that's terminating life. Abortion is to end something, okay, is not health unless that pregnancy is really causing an illness that will kill the parent, right? The mother. So I'm everywhere you're hearing is women's health. And that right there is a form of also misinformation and brainwashing, because you're acting like it's my body, my choice, it's my health. No, that's not the point. You must make the argument that your health, you're going to have a heart attack, aneurysm, your insides are going to explode, right? Anything like that. And I'm just trying to make it lighthearted, guys, because it's a serious, obviously touchy conversation. So I'm on purpose exaggerating that. Stop saying that word health. It's not an atopic pregnancy that they got to go in there. By the way, it's not an abortion. They go in there, and that definitely will kill the mother, right? And they go in there from the outside in. It's that kind of a surgery. Again, I'm just talking to you in simple format. Very different. And everyone has the freedom to do what they want. I believe in freedom. I was born free. I am free. I was created to be free. And everybody is. Do what you want, but don't lie. And stop using words that have nothing to do with your point. That's the main reason why there's such issues with this. Number one. And we'll get into that. We'll do a whole one about women's health, because it's been something that's been irking me for a long time. But of course, now that it's been in the news and all that, it's like nonstop with this for women's health care, Nah, it's not women's health care when you say it's a woman's choice if she wants to. Again, English is my third language. So when I say infanticide, I believe I said it right this time. Sometimes I don't say it right. But no, killing a human being at any stage, any age, is killing. That's the right word for it. And so for my health, I'm going to kill this newborn because I have the choice. Doesn't change the fact, is all I'm asking. We need the truth. If you want to be happy, you got to be honest. There's no other way. Even if it serves your purpose, eventually will catch up to you. Everybody knows that, right? One lie creates another lie gets a bigger lie, and you never get out of it. And I've never seen anybody happy, and anybody with problems that gets them resolved and lives a better, more fulfilled life, truly empowered, is dealing with the truth. There's no other way, and there's no other cutting corners. I'm going to leave you on that one, and to be continued with the being empowered with some more truth, starting one little clip at a time. All right, guys, until next time, much love, many blessings. I'm going to look at the little comments. Hey, Tiana, you were here. I just saw you. Sweetheart, I hope you're still here, because I just looked. I don't know if you saw, I was screen sharing, but thank you for being here. Been trying to catch your live readings, but I be too late. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Also, thank you so much. I feel you. And yeah, I am going to be doing a reading on the other channel tomorrow, in fact. Make sure if you haven't become a member, because it's for the members. But I am going to do a quick intro about my visions, in just a general one, live real quick before that. I haven't set the time, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you click the notifications. If you're new to my channel, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, share this video. And I will see you guys. Tiana. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw your last text. Now, if it was rape or something else, I understand. That's a good point, Tiana. So I have to wrap up. I guess I actually have to go. I have a 2:00 meeting. So this is, again, for sure, TBA, to be continued. Oh, TBC to be continued. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's not about, hey, I agreed to do something like that because you were raped, right? It's just call it what it is, because The thing is, what no one's talking about is when people make decisions, especially women, I get the women coming to me saying how they've never gotten over it, how it changed them forever, how they were not really truly prepared, how 10, 20 years later, it affected them in so many ways. And that's because no one's talking about it in a true way and having people understand it with the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Things need to be spoken truly so that people can truly make decisions and not feel bad about them later because they understood what they were doing. And they spoke to other people that said, hey, this is what's really going to happen to you, or at least it happened to me a year later, 5, 20 years later. So here's a hindsight. You know, there's got to be more community than just, don't tell me what to do. You know, it's like a little teenager. Don't tell me what to do. I know what to do. No, you really don't. But yeah, you should. But you should be able to learn on your own, right? That's how we all learn on our own. To be continued, my love.